What's up everyone? My name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm sharing something a little bit different because this is my own attempt at my own shell challenge that I'm currently hosting over on Twitch. I do shell challenges every once in a while and yeah, I just currently started a brand new one and it's actually fun because this shell was not created by myself, but it was created by one of my Twitch mods and friends. Her name is Womi and she left her signature in the basement. The shell itself is not that bad. Like, it was actually kind of fun to work with and it was not that difficult. I had a really good time with it without getting like frustrated or anything, which can sometimes definitely happen with shell challenges because yeah, you're not allowed to switch up the shell, like change the existing walls, if you will. So that can sometimes be very frustrating and difficult, but I didn't really feel that with this shell at all. I thought this was a really fun shape and it was perfect for what I wanted to do. As you can see, I'm turning it into something a little bit mid-century inspired, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, so this shell was created by my mod and friend Womi, and it was really, really fun. So I'll leave all the details for the shell challenge in the description box down below. You can download the shell off of my gallery and try it for yourself. I will also do tours of the shells. So if you're interested in that, I do those over on Twitch. So if you're interested in that, then maybe you can come by one of the streams. You can redeem the tour my shell, though the list is already filling up. Like, the list with tour spots is already filling up because there's a lot of people wanting to attempt this one. But I do tour them over on Twitch. So if you're interested in that, then I highly suggest coming by one of the streams sometime if that is your thing. If you're not interested in that, then of course that's completely fine as well. You can still do the shell. It's up on the gallery for anyone to download, so you can give it a go if you want to. But if you're not familiar with shell challenges, let me just quickly explain what it is. It's actually fairly simple. I mean, you can obviously make up as many rules as you want to, but essentially a shell challenge means the shell of the build, so the bare exterior walls, the shape of the building, if you will, is already there and you cannot change it. Usually they'll come without a floor plan, so you can add indoor walls and you can add like fences and half walls to it and roofs, stuff like that. Of course, you can do anything with it that you would like, but you cannot change the original shape, the shell of the building, the exterior walls, if you will. So that's basically usually the only rule. Then of course there's like different versions of shell challenges. You can make up any rules that you want to, but for this one we kept it fairly simple. You just cannot change the exterior walls, like the shape of the building, and then there is a basement that you have to not forget about to use that one and include that in your build. And another additional rule that my friend Womi wanted for this one was you cannot use more than 4 packs total. So base game plus 4 packs of your choosing. So whichever packs you want, as long as it's no more than 4 total. So that was a little extra challenge and something I've never actually done before, because before I used to just always allow all packs, all kits, just all expansion packs, just no custom content, because that makes touring it a little bit difficult. Of course, if you do not care about having your build toured, go crazy with custom content and do whatever you like. Essentially, these shell challenges just exist to have fun with and just enjoy building and challenge yourself to do something a little bit different, maybe if it's a shape that you're not used to, or it's just always a little bit of an additional challenge when you cannot change up the shape of the build, like the exterior. It's always so fun to do. And definitely very challenging. So yeah, that is what I'm working on today. And I decided to place this shell in the world of Del Sol Valley, which is the world that came with the Get Famous expansion pack. So that is where I'm building today. It's in the more like downtown area where all the community lots are located. That's where I'm building. I don't think I've ever built anything on this particular lot. Maybe I have and I'm just not remembering it. That is definitely a possibility, but if anything, I do not recall it. So I'm building here. I do believe is there a gym by default here? No, I think the gym is on a different lot. I'm not exactly sure what type of lot is here. Maybe it's a library or something. I really do not recall. I am building it sideways technically because what I'm using as the front of the build is actually considered the side of the lot. When you look at the gallery thumbnail for this, it's really sad. Like it's a picture from the side, but it's fine. I just decided for like the best lighting, it was good to like swap it around and like change up the orientation. So that's what I decided to do. I just liked it better that way. So that's what I did, and that's okay. And I had so much fun with this. As soon as I saw the shape of the shell, it immediately gave me mid-century modern. I don't know why, but it just hit me like immediately. I just really felt like doing something mid-century modern. So that is what I'm doing right now. And I knew from the get-go that I wanted to turn it into a residential rental, or not necessarily a residential rental because it is not the pack that I actually ended up using, but you can use it as a residential rental because it has 3 apartments total, and then it also has a little gym attached to it. So essentially it's just a tiny little gym with 3 little apartments, 1 apartment downstairs and 2 apartments upstairs. I can understand if like the shape and layout of this build is a little bit confusing. Of course, at the end of the speed build, I will give you a little tour in real time so we can look at the shape and like the layout of this build and make sense of it a little bit. But that's essentially what I did. And I feel like it just turned out really, really cute. The gym is just basically just a community lot. It's for anyone to use. Of course, you cannot have a lot be residential and commercial at the same time. That would be cool to have that function in game, like that functionality in game where you can have a lot function as a commercial, like community lot, but also actually live there at the same time. You can kind of do that now by just closing off doors. Say if you wanted this gym to be functional, but you also wanted a sim to actually live here, you could just have the gym be functional and then pretend that your sim lives in one of the apartments by closing the door, like locking the doors for anyone but your sim, for example. So only your sim can walk into the apartment and like therefore use it and kind of live there. But you are required to also own a residential lot. Otherwise, your sim won't technically live anywhere, and you cannot receive any like mail or bills, stuff like that. So it's definitely like functional if you want to in that way. And I feel like it would be really cute for a residential rental. If you have the for rent pack, you could just use it as a residential rental. You'll have 3 apartments and then you'll just have a shared space gym. Of course, only your neighbors would be using the gym that way. No like strangers or like townies would show up to actually use the gym. I don't think, like maybe randomly that'll happen, but I don't really think that's supposed to happen. So yeah, but you can definitely use it that way if you wanted to. Now you can tell that the shape of the house or the build is actually already kind of done because of course the shape was already there. And yeah, so we have this front entrance, which kind of leads you straight into the gym. There is also an entrance in the back, which is for the downstairs apartment. So they have their own like entrance. They don't have to actually enter through the gym or anything. They just get their own front door. And then on the side of the build, there are those staircases that you may have already seen, and they just kind of lead you up to a little balcony area with 2 more little apartments up there with each their own front doors as well. So that's essentially what's going on here. For the landscaping, I was really trying to blend it in with the rest of the world. I don't really build in this world very often, though I did recently actually build here. I did that lot where I did 3 small suburban houses next to each other, which was also a residential rental, or supposed to be. So I did that here recently, and I feel like I got the Del Sol Valley bug. Ever since I built that, I really enjoy this world. I feel like it could have been so much better though. Like it would have been so cool if they would give us an extra area. Like there is, when you look at this world from the map, you can kind of see like a coastal area. It would have been so cool if we'd gotten like a little area with beaches or something. And if they just made the quote unquote cheap area a little bit bigger, gave us some extra lots, you know, like that sort of a thing. I feel like that could have been so much better than it is. Though I do really like how the world looks. When you load into the lots like individually, the surrounding area is so cool. I really like this one. It is surrounded by roads and it's very city-esque, and it was just exactly what I wanted. It's very Los Angeles inspired, of course, and I just feel like they really nailed that and it just looks really cool. So yeah, that's what I'm working with here, and therefore I thought it'd be cool to create this mid-century building that is probably a little bit on the older side of things. I didn't necessarily make it very gross or run down or anything, but it's not like the most recently renovated build that you'll come across in this area. It's definitely a little bit older. I placed some stains and stuff on the exterior walls as well. It's very subtle, but it will just like give you the vibe of a more like old building. And that's exactly what I was going for. Not necessarily gross and run down, but just a little bit older. You can see here that I was placing some stains and stuff. So this shell challenge is a limited pack. Like I said, my friend Womi decided that you can only use up to 4 packs in addition to base game, of course. So that's what we did. And I actually used a pack randomizer on James Turner's website. He has like a really handy little tool where you can randomize packs. So I used that. Of course, I had already picked Del Sol Valley, like the Get Famous expansion pack beforehand, because I knew that I wanted to build here. And then I realized, for the rest, I'm just going to use a randomizer. The randomizer wasn't very generous. It gave me 2 kits, which doesn't like give me a whole lot of stuff. So at that point I was using Get Famous Basement Treasures, which was good because it gave me like those little stains that I could place on the wall. And then the Bathroom Clutter Kit randomly. And then it also gave me paranormal stuff. And that actually wasn't too bad of a pack because it definitely comes with some really cool like mid-century or 70s, I guess, inspired items that I could really use. And I definitely used that pack in one of the apartments upstairs. So that was actually a really fun addition. But then the Bathroom Clutter Kit, I just kind of felt betrayed. I was like, I cannot do this. I'm only allowed to use 4 packs. Give me a substantial pack, please. I'll take 1 kit, just not 2. So I kept the basement kit, and then I decided to actually use the University expansion pack. Because for one, it comes with bicycles. I thought that would be really nice to have here. And then I had another reason, but I don't really remember what it was. I just felt like it came with really good, like cheaper stuff that would be good because I did want these apartments to be like not very luxurious and definitely for people that don't have a lot of money to spend, maybe even students or people that have just come out of university and they maybe don't have a job yet. Or like I said, just for people that are in university right now, like they can rent these apartments that probably wouldn't be too expensive because they're actually really small, except for the downstairs one. That one is a little bit more spacious. I was thinking maybe that could be the owner's apartment, like the person that owns this gym and then rents out the little apartments upstairs. Maybe that person could live in the downstairs apartment. It's also kind of small. They're all 1 bedrooms. But the downstairs one is definitely a lot larger than the 2 upstairs. So that is definitely a possibility. It's kind of what I was thinking. And here you can see we're starting on the interior for the gym. The gym, like I said, is really, really small. And this is what I used the creepy basement for. I haven't actually showed you the basement yet because, well, to make this speed build make sense, I had to cut out that footage. But in a little bit here, we will be decorating the basement. And that's when you'll see what I mean. Like I said, my friend Womi, who created this shell challenge, she really wanted to leave her signature. And she kind of literally did that by spelling out her name, Womi, in the basement, as in the shape of the basement is the letters of her name, Womi. And it's really crazy. It looks like a little maze down there, but it actually worked because I could turn them just into very weird bathrooms because of course this is a gym, so you'd want like a couple showers and stuff. And I was using, oh right, that's my main reason for picking University is because it comes with those walk in showers, I guess. I'm not sure what to call them. Just those little wall showers that barely take up any space because they don't have a little cabin built around them. It's just the shower, like the wall-mounted shower. And it's perfect because they're really, really cheap. And I felt like they would be so good for in the basement because they don't really block the routing either. You can just kind of walk through them, like walk around them. I don't know. They're just, they're very efficient in that way. So that's what I decided to do for the basement. I turned it into a maze bathroom with different little areas for showers, some different bathrooms. There's some more lockers. There's some creepy storage. And I just thought it would be very cool to have that weird basement here, like attached to a very old Los Angeles 70s mid-century kind of build that's never really been renovated, and there's just a weird basement down there. No one really knows why, but apparently there's just this basement in this weird shape, and it has all these little narrow hallways. And then when this person bought this building and decided to turn it into a gym, they were like, you know what, let's turn it into basement bathrooms. That would actually make sense. So that's what I did. I'll give you a better look at the shape of the basement and how it exactly is laid out, of course, at the end of the video. I was allowed to add indoor walls to add a little bit of a floor plan here in the basement, so I did do that, but I just wasn't allowed to delete any of the exterior or existing walls here in the basement. So it still says WOMI, it just has a couple extra walls there. Otherwise, I couldn't make any closed off bathrooms, and I needed at least a couple, because if you want to place a toilet, then, you know, that needs to be closed off. The good thing about those Discovery University open wall showers is that your Sims can actually use them in like a public space, as in a public bathroom, not just any public space, but like a shared bathroom where multiple people shower at the same time, like that sort of vibe. It works in with those showers, so I thought that would be ideal for a weird basement like this, where I definitely did not have a lot of space to work with. So yeah, I thought that'd be cool. But here you can see I actually closed off a little area to add a few more bathrooms, because there was only one bathroom upstairs, and I thought that would not be enough if you have a bunch of Sims working out here. The gym is very small, but there are like 4 workout machines, 3 treadmills, and a boxing cushion thingy, punching bag is what it's called. So there's definitely a lot of like equipment items for Sims to use. So potentially a lot of Sims actually show up there if you do use it as a gym. So I felt like it'd be good to have at least a couple more bathrooms. So that is what I did. But yeah, after that weird basement that I will show you in the tour portion of the video, we are moving on here to the first apartment, which is the downstairs apartment. And I thought this would be cool for the owner. It was so nice actually to only have 4 packs to work with. It was fun to combine them and see what kind of combinations of furniture I could come up with. And it was just nice, a little bit refreshing to have a bit of a more limited catalog that I was able to use. You know, it's really just sometimes very refreshing to not have everything on hand. I've been really enjoying that lately. I was talking about that in my previous speed build as well, but I don't know why, but it's just sometimes so refreshing. So that's what I was still enjoying in this speed build as well. And I was having some fun with the colors here. You can see that I put in a green kitchen. I never use those kitchen counters. I like them. I just don't like the graphics of them. I feel like if they would get some updates to like the graphics and the way they look, it would be so cool, because I actually really like those countertops, like the shape of them with the drawers, with the handles. I feel like they're very mid-century and they're very versatile because they come in a lot of swatches. They just look very plasticky, which maybe is the whole point of it, but you know, it's their base game. So compared to a lot of newer countertops, they definitely look a little bit outdated. So I feel like they could, you know, use a little bit of an update. That would be nice. They did upgrade the other base game countertops a couple of years ago, I think, or maybe a year ago. I think it's longer than a year. The time really passes by without me realizing it. I don't understand where it flies to, like where it goes, but time passes by very fast these days. But yeah, we got that update. I think it was a couple of years ago where they added more swatches to the other like the cheapest base game counters. Now, I feel like they need to do that to the rest as well, because we have more base game counters and they're actually all pretty good. They just need a little bit of love. They need a little bit of an update, you know, that would be so nice. But yeah, you can see this first apartment come together. It's definitely the most spacious out of all 3. It has a really small, like, open concept floor plan, I guess, with this kitchen in the corner, and then a little seating area as well. It does lack a little bit of daylight. There's not a whole lot of windows in this apartment, but I guess that's just what you get. Like, that's just the structure of it all, and that's just how it works. So there are some windows here in the living room / kitchen space, just not a whole lot. So that's just what you're gonna have to work with. And I feel like that's realistic, because not all apartments, especially when they're cheap and located in older buildings, they're not all gonna get these beautiful large windows and a lot of, you know, natural like light. all day long. So I felt like that was nice and realistic. And I was having a lot of fun with the color scheme for this one, as you can probably tell. I was using one of my favorite swatches for the flooring. This floorboard is Base Game, I believe, and it's that really beautiful orangey wood tone that I just really enjoy, especially when it comes to 70s or mid-century inspired builds. I have another one of those coming up, by the way, which is using custom content, and I cannot wait to show you that one because I really played around with colors for that as well. And I was, I guess, kind of practicing for that already with these little apartments, which are also quite colorful. It's just the way, it's just what I like to do whenever I do something slightly retro inspired. I just like to go colorful. It's also because, of course, the Get Famous pack comes with very retro inspired items in these beautiful, vibrant colors. So that really inspired me to do that for this apartment too. I was using that rug, as you can see, with like that beautiful deep blue and orange and yellow, and I definitely took inspiration from that as well. But here you can see we have the tiny bedroom. This apartment does have the bathroom off of the bedroom, which isn't something I would normally do. Like, it's not very ideal, but it's just how it worked out for these apartments. And again, I just kind of liked that little bit of inconvenience to an apartment because, you know, it's not going to be perfect when it's like cheap and in an older building. So I thought that was nice. And the bathroom itself is actually quite spacious, so I feel like that's nice. And I think for one of the other apartments upstairs, it's the same situation where the bathroom is off of the bedroom. But the apartments upstairs are definitely supposed to be for 1, maybe 2 Sims, but I feel like they would be ideal for 1 Sim because they're actually really small. I did really try my best and decorate them in a way where there is a double bed that is accessible from both sides. It's just gonna be really cramped, but you know, it fits. I live in a very small apartment together with my boyfriend as well. And is it luxurious? Is it fantastic? Is it ideal? No, but it works. You know, we get by and it's functional. There's no routing issues in my real life apartment, which is nice. I mean, kind of, but like not actual problems, you know what I mean? So I feel like that that's the same here. Like, it's small. Is it perfect? No, but it's cozy. That is my cat's food dispenser. She is going to enjoy her little kibble now. But yeah, I feel like the apartment downstairs has turned out really cool. I was definitely struggling with it a little bit because I wasn't used to having that little daylight. There aren't any windows like directly in the lounge area, for example, only by the front door and the kitchen. So that wasn't something I was necessarily enjoying, but I do feel like I made the most of the space and it's realistic and cozy. And yeah, now I'm moving on to the 2 smaller apartments upstairs. So these people have a little bit of a shared balcony situation almost, I would say, where I placed a couple items. There is a bench and a 2-seater dining table. So the neighbors can just kind of meet up here and hang out and, you know, just spend some time outside. And then we're getting started on the first apartment. Now, I did try to keep these apartments as basic as possible. I wanted them to be very cheap and easy to move into, especially if you do have the for rent expansion pack and you want to actually use these apartments. Then I definitely wanted them to be very cheap, still cute and fully decorated and kind of lived in a sense, but as basic as possible, if you know what I mean. So that's what I tried to do. I use these same Base Game counters here as well, but just in a different, more neutral swatch. I really like that color. I think it's really pretty. And the furniture from the basement kit really came in handy here. I just love that cheap couch. I was trying to use it in the first apartment as well, but it didn't really end up working out there. So I used a different one, just a Base Game one, but it really worked out here as well, especially combined with that white old leather chair. That was actually perfect. And I did try, like I said, to keep these basements very basic. So we do have just very basic white, or I guess cream toned beigey-ish walls. You probably aren't allowed to paint these walls either, so you're gonna have to make it more colorful by bringing in more colorful furniture. So I felt like the blue was just a beautiful color to add here, and it just combines particularly well with that orangey wood tone that I was using for the flooring, but also the bookcase, the end table. And I've been really enjoying these older looking TVs for some reason. So there's a very old looking Base Game TV in here as well. I put some university, like school study books as a decoration too, because I was definitely thinking that maybe a student would live here, a student that is almost graduating, something like that could be cool. And you know, now that I'm looking at it, you could definitely live here with 2 Sims. I feel like it's definitely possible. It's just the bedroom that's going to be very cramped, but it definitely does fit. And to kind of add in a little workspace as well, I put a laptop on the dining table to kind of suggest that you can sit there for dinner, but you could also use it as a little desk office space, if you will. So I did that. And then we're moving on to the bedroom, which, as you can probably see, is very crammed. I was really enjoying using this base game bed with the brown bedding. I barely ever use it, but for some reason it just looked so like basic and a little bit outdated in a perfect way. And that blue and brown bedding was obviously perfect because it brings in some of that blue, and the brown is just really, I don't know, it just really works here. It's a little bit outdated in the best sense of the word, which is what I was going for this one. So that's kind of cool. And then this base game wardrobe, which is perfect. They actually kind of recently, it's not that recently, it's actually kind of a long time ago at this point, but they added that in a couple of years ago and I really like it. It comes in really pretty colors and it works well in retro inspired homes for some reason. I don't know why. It's maybe it's the little legs to it. I'm not exactly sure. But here we have the small apartment next door, and this one also is very basic, though I did use darker walls in here. There are some gray walls in here, and I really wanted to try my best to use this paranormal furniture set because I was using that kit, but I just haven't really used any of the furniture really anywhere, and I felt like I really needed to make use of that pack a little bit. So that's why I chose to use it here. So this one is again very 70s inspired, which kind of naturally goes hand in hand with the paranormal stuff pack, I feel, with the furniture and especially the color scheme. So this one is very colorful. It might be a little bit much, but I particularly enjoy the combination of the furniture here in the living room and that rug. The rug is from Get Famous, and it just combines really well color scheme wise with the furniture from Paranormal. I feel like they really tried to make those go together nicely. They're kind of supposed to be from the same period, like the decoration, the furniture style, I feel like is supposed to be from that same time period maybe. So I feel like maybe that's why they try to match it to each other, and I feel like they did a really good job. For this house, I did not have the space for a separate like 2-seater or 3-seater dining table, so I wasn't able to do that. But these people do have a tiny little island like situation in the kitchen, so I just plonked some bar stools down there, and then that will be their dining setup. They do have, I feel like, a bit more of a spacious bedroom in here, so I had to sacrifice a little bit of space, of course, somewhere, and I ended up not being able to put in a dining table, but I feel like that's okay. I also think these people have a bit of a larger bathroom. The other apartment only has a 4-tile apartment or a 4-tile bathroom, and this one I think has a 6-tile bathroom, so they actually end up having a shower tub combo, if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think they did. And then of course they have this nice kitchen. I really like this kitchen with the door to the balcony. Oh, this apartment actually has a tiny balcony, so I feel like this one would definitely be the better deal of the two. No dining table, but definitely a small balcony, where I think I actually ended up placing a small dining table. So they still get it, it's just outside. So you might not want to have dinner there when it's raining. Though I do feel like, I believe that balcony is undercover. There's a little overhang covering it from the weather. So even in the rain, you could still sit there. But anyway, here is their small bedroom, where I decided to just use that same furniture base game set in the dark brown swatch. I just felt like it worked particularly well. Oh, maybe I used the blue one instead here. Oh, this is what I did. I'm so sorry. I just messed this little part up, but I ended up using the Get Famous bed. Right, that's what I did. I forgot about that because I wanted it to be a little bit more out there and a little bit less basic. Like I said, because I was using the paranormal stuff in here. So I decided to go for one of the beds from the Get Famous stuff pack, as it comes in beautiful bright colors. I put that little chair in the corner from the paranormal stuff pack. I thought that was really cute. And then just some simple little decorations around the place. Like I said, I didn't really want this to be anything crazy special or fancy, but I wanted there to be some nice decorations. And I hadn't used this sink yet. The sink is from Get Famous, and I really felt like I had to use it. I was using the pack, so I really need to use that sink somewhere, is what I thought. So that's what I ended up doing in their slightly larger bathroom. And then they also have this tiny balcony where I just placed a very simple outdoorsy dining table, and then I just put the final few decorations, and that's it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the building in real time. So here we have the lot in the game. I feel like it's very inviting. I particularly like these flower beds or greenery beds, landscaping patches. I'm not exactly sure what to call them. One of the required objects for the shell challenge, by the way, were the sunflowers. So I decided to make the most of that by playing a bunch of them around. I feel like it just looks very fun and cozy. At the front here, this is where we have the entrance into the gym. I parked some bikes here. There are some picnic tables. Off the side here is a little bit of parking, not too much, but there is definitely some parking. In the back here, some more picnic tables so you can just hang out and have a snack after you are done using the gym, for example. And then in the back here is the entrance into the downstairs apartment. And over on this side is a sketchy van parked. I'm not sure what it's doing there, but it's just there. There are some outdoor bins here, and then the stairs up to the 2 upstairs apartments. So here we have the entrance into the gym. There is this tiny little front desk here where I placed a computer. Maybe you like have to scan a card or like show your membership, or I'm not exactly sure how it would work, but there is a little front desk here. And then you basically walk straight into the gym. So we have a couple of treadmills here. There is a TV going for when you're working out. There is a couple of weightlifting machines and 1 punching bag as well. There's some music here, of course. And then over here are a couple of locker rooms and also a sink. Through this tiny hallway, there are some more lockers. There's a lot of lockers just kind of scattered around the place. And then in here is a tiny little bathroom. No sink, but there's a sink here, so you can use that one. And then downstairs is where the fun starts. This is where we have the scary basement that, as you can see, maybe literally spells out whoa me. So yeah, she definitely left her signature on this beautiful shell, which we're all very thankful for. So down here we have a little bit of sketchy storage. I'm not exactly sure why there is a heart bed stored here, but it's there alongside some other just random stuff. There is a narrow hallway over here. This bathroom really is a maze, but what else are you gonna do with a basement like this? So there is a small shower in here. This is just a single shower, and again, some lockers. I was really into using lockers for this build. And then through here are a couple of bathrooms. So 2 toilets, but also 2 showers. I have the space for it, so I figured why not? There's a lot of showers here. And then also 2 sinks. And then through this door, this is where we have 3 more showers and even more lockers. So definitely more than enough space to take a shower in this gym, which I feel like is pretty nice. Then when you walk around the building here, this is where we have the entrance into the downstairs apartment, which I was kind of imagining would belong to the owner. So you walk through the front door and you kind of walk straight into the kitchen. There's a small U-shaped kitchen here with everything you need. It is very small, but it's definitely all functional and it has everything you would want in a kitchen. So that's nice. There's a 3-seater dining table here that you can also use as a little workspace. And then over here is a nice and colorful living room setup. I really like how this came out. It's very simple, but you know, effective. It has some cool artwork here too. A nice bookshelf from university. I thought this one was really fitting for this apartment for some reason. Nice and basic and kind of cheap. And then through here is the bedroom. So very retro. It's very small. I didn't really have the space for any nightstands. So it's just a bed and then a dresser over here with some stuff on it. A little leaning mirror here and a chair in the corner. And off of the bedroom is a small bathroom that actually has a nice like counter set up here. There's definitely some counter space, a nice shower top combo, and then a toilet, of course. Then going back outside and walking around to the side of the build, this is where we have a couple of staircases leading you up to the 2 second-story apartments. There's some outdoor space here with a little bench and a small dining table over here, some nice shared space. You could even go ahead and place some planters or something here. And then this is the first apartment on this level. Again, open floor plan concept, but very small at the same time. So you kind of walk straight into the living room here. I love the colors. It's very basic and simple, but there's just something about it that makes me really happy. I really like how this came together. There's a bookcase in the corner, a small dining table slash workspace, and then a nice L-shaped kitchen here that goes into the corner here. There's a bunch of storage. I feel like the kitchen is a very nice size for an apartment this small. Over here is the bedroom, very tiny. I'm loving the dark brown in here. It definitely gives me 70s, and I just really like it. There is a small wardrobe here, but that is all I had space for without disrupting the routing. And then in here is the tiniest bathroom. They just got a shower, no tub, because it is really small, but for the rest, it's completely functional. Next door, we have the more colorful apartment where I used some paranormal stuff. So again, you kind of walk straight into the living room here, which is definitely very colorful. I love this shade of yellow. It's so pretty, and it repeats itself in the rug and also in the throw blanket and the tiny pillow here on the couch. So I thought it was very colorful, but it still like ties together very well. And I combined it with some brown tones. As you can see, there's some clutter in the living room here, a bookcase here in the corner, and then a nice L-shaped kitchen with everything that you would want. They have a microwave here too, and of course a fridge in the corner. And then there's a tiny little balcony out here as well, where they can just hang out and have some dinner. This would definitely be my apartment of choice. If I had to live here, I would definitely pick this one. Off of the kitchen here is the full bathroom. This one's a bit more spacious, so they do get a shower tub combo, which is nice, and a very cool mid-century looking sink. I really like that one. And then over here is the bedroom, which again, very colorful. I love the combination of this bed and this particular poster because of the yellow and then that same color blue in the letters. I just feel like it's very satisfying. There's a small little decorative corner over here, and then of course a wardrobe as well. But that is basically it for these apartments. So this lot, which I called 3 apartments and gym, is up on the gallery. As you can see, the original is by Wominion18, which is my mod who created the original shell for this build. I did build it sideways technically, so the screenshot on the gallery here is a bit sad. And it also says that it uses horse ranch, but it does not. I checked it, and I also heard that multiple people have this issue where horse ranch shows up in their list of used packs, but it's not true. So I feel like that's a little bit of a bug there, but it's definitely not using horse ranch. It is, however, using Discover Uni, Get Famous, Paranormal, and the Basement Treasures Kit. So those 4 packs were used for this one. And it was built on a 30x30 in the world of Del Sol Valley. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!